Welcome, friends. Welcome to the debut of yet another new deck in my Tarot Oracle card lineup. This is Shaman's Drum Oracle. Love, light, and light love went into the making of this deck, and it was made with the collaboration of four very, very powerful native energies. So this deck, you'll just get a feel for it as I flip through it. And actually the energies that we're working with, that's my favorite, that's the most auspicious card in the deck, White Buffalo. But the energies that were working with me kind of didn't even make themselves known until halfway through the deck. And I try to kind of focus on them a little bit here at the end of the flip through. But these cards placed out all together are, oh my gosh, if you're into shamanism, if you're into earth medicine, earth-based medicine, if you're a divine masculine, this deck is very heavy divine masculine based. Even if you're a feminine working to balance their divine masculine, this deck might speak to you. Now, the things that are part of this oracle deck, just as I was making it, the feeling I had was the love of the Native American indigenous spirit elders, because these were spirits, that were working with me and showing me the foundation of their love of life. Oh, wampum, that's another favorite one. But they're like their love of life, like what they loved about life. And you can see it's like totally nature-based. It was a love of family. It was a love of nature, a love of animals, and a great reverence and respect for the elements and everything that went along with living as part of the earth. Now, these things just started showing themselves to me, obviously, in this lifetime. I don't know anything about, necessarily about Native American culture, but I have had past lives as a Native American person. And so I felt in my heart of hearts very aligned with the energies that were coming through this particular deck. And the horse was another one. I'm very aligned with horses anyway, but the horse came through. Just all the things that the spirits of this particular deck found to be so important to them were what comes through in the energy. And like I said, it's very powerful. There's three spirit guides who came through very strongly. I didn't know who they were, and I didn't go look them up in terms of who they were as the person, because the energy of who they were, of what they stood for in its highest form, in its most loving form, is what came through. We have Chief White Eagle. He is our eagle card, and very, oh my gosh, I get such chills, very powerful working with him in terms of being proud of who you are, standing up for who you are and what you believe in. We had Tecumseh come through, a very peaceful energy. So as a leader, I could see that he was a very peaceful person who was in love with life and in love with nature and in love with family. And then we had Crazy Horse come through, who showed himself to me as the like the warrior pose from yoga. So just very aligned in terms of both strength, power, and vulnerability. A very aligned, I would say, individual, and a very aligned spirit coming through in this particular deck. And then the very last card, there's Crazy Horse, which we may have already popped through because I kind of took my eyes off for a minute, is the Navajo Wind Talkers, which I work with. There's Tecumseh. But love is always the answer. And the last card in all of my decks is always the card about love. And the Navajo Wind Talkers, oh, there's Chief White Eagle. The Navajo Wind Talkers, we channel in with the light language that I do, and how they help me with shamanic healing and grief work for folks. So we're going to lay these out in another spread for you, but I just wanted you to take a look here at the end of the three energies that made up the overall spirit and feeling of this deck. There's Crazy Horse and his Peaceful Warrior. Tecumseh, just a very, very aligned spirit. And then I wouldn't want to mess with this guy, but Chief White Eagle, very much his aligned spirit of power. Thank you so much for looking at this deck with me. Thank you so much for looking at this deck with me. It is available exclusively at the Game Crafter, and the link is in the show notes of this video.